Lebanon's murdered leftist leader, Kamal Jumblat, was buried today in his small village southeast of Beirut. Throughout Lebanon, the Arab League peacekeeping force kept a nervous watch over a country teetering on renewed hostilities. Mike Lee reports.
The bodies of Jumblat, his chauffeur, and an aide lay in state at the slain leader's home in the Shuf village of Muqtara. Jumblat's followers, many of them young men who had fought as volunteers in his leftist militia, were stunned and angry. There were reports of scattered reprisal raids against nearby Christian villages, along with several street slayings in the capital Beirut, where Jumblat supporters held a one-day strike. Movement between Christian and Muslim neighborhoods was all but halted, and there were fears that the tension here would erupt into open fighting. Jumblat's son, Walid, issued a plea for calm and blamed his father's murders on the Israelis. As the day wore on, emotions grew more intense. Several thousand mourners came to pay their respects. Women came in groups, sobbing and chanting. Wave after wave of Jumblat supporters filed through the villa, and entire villages came as one, led by white-hatted Druze sheikhs. Although Jumblat's influence over Lebanese politics had suffered with the Syrian-imposed ceasefire, he died with thousands of militiamen devoted to his cause. Many here now hope that Jumblat the martyr will breathe new life into a movement he had been unable to lead to victory. Mike Lee, CBS News, Muqtara, Lebanon.
That 5-member U.S. presidential delegation met in Hanoi today with Vietnamese Premier Pham Van Dom, who praised the new spirit of the Carter administration. In reply, delegation leader Leonard Woodcock praised the Vietnamese as a proud and courageous people. There was a slight foul-up just before that meeting. Woodcock brought from Mr. Carter a letter for Dong, but when he got to Dong's palace, he thought that everyone else had the letter. They thought he had it, and Woodcock had to order an aide back to the guest house to fetch it. A U.S. Embassy official in Kinshasa, Zaire, said today that invasion forces from Angola are advancing in the province of Shaba, formerly Katanga, and the situation there is deteriorating. The evacuation of more Americans in the province was ordered. Last summer, Oakland A's owner Charlie Finley sold 3 of his star players for $3.5 million. Baseball commissioner Bowie Kuhn stopped the sale, said it wasn't in the best interest of baseball. Finley filed a $3.5 million suit. He said the players belonged to him. Today, a federal judge upheld Kuhn's right to cancel the sale. Finley now says he'll appeal. Paced by a record increase in paychecks last month, total personal income in this country recovered from its cold weather slowdown. It grew at an annual rate of about $17 billion, in line with its gains late last year. The Dow Jones Industrial Average ended its streak of gains today with a decline of more than 3 points. Volume on the New York Stock Exchange was 20,700,000 shares. The average price per share lost 3 cents on the New York Exchange. It gained 3 cents on the American. That series of reports on corruption in Arizona that the other day linked Senator Barry Goldwater to mob figures, today said that Goldwater's brother Robert maintains business and social relationships with several mobsters. The investigation was conducted by reporters from 24 newspapers and 2 broadcast stations. But not even all of those organizations have been running the series. And in Phoenix, as Sharon Lovejoy reports, the investigation is hardly getting any coverage.
Throughout the United States, the series of reports alleging widespread criminal activity in Arizona has received modest circulation at best, and even less than that in Arizona itself. The state's largest newspapers, the Republic and the Gazette, have decided not to print the reports as a series, despite the fact that the murder of Don Bowles, longtime investigative reporter for the Republic, prompted the investigation. The newspapers say they've already published all the information in the report that could be verified. They say it would be irresponsible to publish unverified statements and allegations. In Tucson, the Arizona Daily Star is printing edited versions of the report, which has quickly become a bestseller in Phoenix. 5,000 copies a day are now being sold instead of the usual 300. Even the Maricopa County Young Democrats have been helping to distribute the Tucson paper. State Senator Sue Dye says that printing the story in only one major paper just isn't enough.
I think the Arizona Republic should particularly run the series, whether other papers do or not, because it concerns Arizona, it concerns Phoenix. They are a Pulliam paper. Indianapolis Star is a Pulliam paper, and if they can't substantiate it here, why could they there? It's the same chain.
The owners of the Pulliam newspaper chain have refused to comment on their decision. Phoenix television stations, forced to rely on wire service versions of the reports, unable to verify many of the allegations to their own satisfaction, have been reluctant to broadcast what they do not know to be true.
Cool News feels that publishing of such material would be irresponsibly inconsistent with prevailing standards of good journalism.
There is public pressure for the Phoenix papers to print the story, but like all news media in Arizona, they are trying to walk a fine line between responsible journalism and the suppression of information. Sharon Lovejoy, CBS News, Phoenix.
And that's the way it is. Thursday, March 17th, 1977. This is Walter Cronkite, CBS News. Good night.
This has been the CBS Evening News with Walter Cronkite. For the latest news early, watch the CBS Morning News with Hughes Rudd and Bruce Morton.
Barnaby Jones must convince a frightened young woman to turn state's evidence, even if it means losing her life in the process. Buddy Ebsen and Lee Merriweather star in Barnaby Jones, tonight at 10, right here on Television 8. This is CBS.